So today is Thanksgiving Day, and typically celebrated here in the States. Oh, there we go. Typically celebrated here in the States, and I think other countries have various days in their calendar that are Thanksgiving-like. I'm not going to go into the history or anything of Thanksgiving, but it's one of those times when you sit down or you reflect on things that you're thankful for, and it just kind of brings families together. Enjoy a nice meal traditionally, watch things like football traditionally, and parades. Some families pick names for Christmas presents. Some get together and look at all the Black Friday ads, although that's been becoming less and less of a thing, just because it's been watered down by all the other deals and ads now that they're running. And I enjoy going to my dad's. This year, I've been going there last couple of years actually, and just because he's by himself now with my stepmom, and my sister has moved on to her own family and things like that. So my dad's not going to be around forever, and I want to make sure that I still enjoy his company while I can. So obviously, people's houses full of cars, families getting together, doing the holidays dinner and so on. So things that I'm thankful for is obviously life. Looks like somebody's doing a bonfire or something. Life. Family. I mean, you can't stress that enough. It just smells good. I love campfire smell. A lot of things in my life. Just, it's too bad that it seems like the only time you really sit down to think about it is on days like this. But the same could be said for a lot of different holidays and occasions. So, yeah, so making the trek out to my dad's, and he's gonna have a lot of food like he always does. He likes to cook a lot of stuff, and I think back somewhat to my early childhood days of when Thanksgiving was typically at my aunt's, and this is when all of my family was still alive, and none of the cousins had any kids, and it was a good sized feast every Thanksgiving. And very, very enjoyable. But as kids and marriages and things like that happen, families tend to split their time and go different ways and whatever. So now it's, sadly, my aunt's Thanksgiving has been reduced to her and my uncle, and now my mom goes out there, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's funny, as you get older, the things that you gather up when you're a kid, those things tend to get smaller and smaller as family grows up and marries and kids and things like that. Just things like that happen. So, but it's hard for us to say to kids, cherish these times now, because you may not have them later on. And then as adults, you're just so busy trying to keep everything together that you really forget sometimes to appreciate those things. And I think Thanksgiving kind of brings that back into perspective, if not for one day, and that's fine. Sometimes we need to come back to earth and realize that the stresses of our day, jobs and things like that, that shouldn't consume us, because what we have is our family and each other and things like that. So, but my dad typically serves he used to do a full turkey. And it's funny because we had a microwave back in, he bought that microwave probably back in the late 80s. And that microwave had convection, which at the time, microwaves with convection were just a little bit more rare, more expensive. And he spent all of this money, it was $500-600 on a microwave back then, and that was a lot of money back in the late 80s for a microwave. But it was huge. It was the top of the line. We got it at Sears. It had convection, and it was they said right on the box, I can't remember the name of the microwave, but it said right on the box, we'll cook a 16-pound turkey. And so he bought this microwave, and he waited, we bought it I think in early fall, and he ended up waiting all the way until Thanksgiving. He wanted to cook this turkey so bad in this microwave to see how well it would do. And looking at it from an economical standpoint, that microwave had to run for about 3 hours to cook that turkey. 3.5 hours. And you're talking about running like a stove, like a gas stove, for 3.5 hours, but much worse, because it was using some kind of a technology to radiate the meat and then convect it at the same time. And so it was just burning up a whole bunch of electricity. And I can remember all the times that, because we would be cooking, we would bring rolls, my dad would bring the turkey, so my mom would be cooking rolls or some toast or something like that, and she'd use the toaster while the microwave was running, and it would blow the fuse, because this thing pumped out, it was 15 amps, and it's just kind of funny looking back at that kind of stuff. And the turkey actually turned out really good, and it's funny because he would always say to everybody, yeah, I cooked this in the microwave, and they'd look at him like he was crazy. So he enjoyed that. And my sister and I, once the 3-hour mark hit, my sister and I would wait for that little red popper to pop up. It would pop up when the turkey was cooked. And so we'd stand there in front of the microwave for about the last half hour waiting for it to pop up, and we'd always want to be the first one to yell out, the turkey's done, the turkey's done. And I don't know, just some of those memories. It's kind of nice to be able to think about that and think about those memories. But it's a lot different now. As I said, the family's smaller. My sister has their own kids. My cousins have their own families and kids. So what was once is now just a memory. And, that's fine. You can say cherish those memories. And I always will, but sometimes I just wish that it could all come back together again and have a nice feast. Traditionally, on this day, after we're all done eating and everybody's all settled in, we'll watch the movie Christmas Vacation. I started that tradition back in the mid-90s. Got it on VHS for Christmas. Actually, my mom gave it to me a little bit early. That sucks. My mom gave it to me a little bit early because she wanted me to be able to watch it through Christmas, and so she actually gave it to me on Thanksgiving, so that between Thanksgiving Christmas I could watch the movie. And I stuck it in the VCR, started watching it, and everybody else came over and sat down and started watching it, and it became this big deal at my aunt's. So since then, I had been playing it after food every Christmas. Everybody would gather around the TV and watch it, and we'd laugh. It's kind of like when they play The Christmas Story on, was it TBS or something, for 24 hours. So now it's just reduced to my immediate family, my wife and kids. She's going to her family's, I'm going to mine. So when we both get back home, then we'll watch the movie. And I've got quite a collection of Christmas-like movies, even ones that are sort of Christmas-like. We'll end up watching Edward Scissorhands. That's a good one. It's not really a Christmas movie, but kind of. And then there's, of course, the Charlie Brown of Christmas, the Grinch, the staple ones. Got all those. And then I've got the Gremlins, both of them, because they're kind of a Christmas around that time of year. A lot of good movies. So we'll watch those between now and Christmas, and then I sign off on Christmas. It's the 26th. It's like, yeah, okay, done. Don't want to hear any more music. Don't want to see the Christmas tree anymore. Don't want nothing to do with it. I am done with Christmas. And so, now, between now and make sure it's still recording. It's going to only record 22 minutes on that. So between now and Christmas Day, it's going to be all the Christmas stuff. It's, look at this. I mean, it's just kind of weird. And it's funny because the weekend before Thanksgiving, 2 years ago, I got this car. And it's just funny to think about that, too. And I think my second video that I posted was on the gas mileage. I was making this exact drive. Man, I need to clean my car. I was making this exact drive. And I just remember, I think it was this exact hill here I was coming up. I had it in cruise, and I didn't have displacement on demand. And I remember I was coming up to the top of this hill. I got the video, but I just remember looking at that, saying that I was really impressed with the fuel mileage once I leveled off. This is back before I had this camera mount, obviously the 360 camera. That's another thing to be thankful for, that this car has actually done me good for the past 2 years. Yes, I've had some issues, but the warranty picked those up. Yes, there was a bitter end of the warranty, but it is what it is. It's done. It's over with. The warranty company has signed off on me. Now they don't have no legal responsibility, and now I'm on my own. But that's fine. I don't know. I can't remember any car that I've ever bought in my life that has actually had a warranty, because I've never bought new cars. So to have that, it's pretty awesome. And it fixed some things that'll go another 130 or 140,000 miles easily. So I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful that my family's still alive. Sadly, I won't get to see my grandpa this year for Thanksgiving. Got to see him last year. Actually, 2 years ago. It's been that long. But so sadly, I won't get a chance to see him for Thanksgiving. But I'll definitely be able to see him for Christmas. I'm going to make it a point to get over there before his health degrades too much, or he's not going to be able to even put on a smiley face. Yeah, this weather, it's really weird. It was raining, it's warm, it's in the mid-50s right now. It's that cloudy Michigan weather, but it's just funny how the weather has turned out this year for Thanksgiving. It's been such a warm winter. Well, I mean, this is still fall technically until December 23rd, but it's been such a warm winter, and I'm okay with it, to be honest. I really am. And I tell you what, it seems like every single time I come up on the exit that I need to come up on, this happens. I can't get over and around these cars fast enough because this guy over here is poking along at just slightly more than the speed of the cars on the right-hand side. It's like this exit, it starts congesting traffic, so now I gotta wait behind all this traffic, but whatever. It happens every single time. Building a nice house out there. It's just a nice drive. I like this drive. I really do. It's a nice, quiet drive. US 127 is a nice, seems like a nice drive. Once you get out of the Lansing area, it's a nice drive. In the Lansing, East Lansing area, things get really congested. But once you get beyond that, once you get north of East Lansing, it's a nice drive. Actually, once you get north of 69, it's a nice, quiet drive. But didn't see any cops this time. I don't know. Usually they watch this area a little bit. They said they were going to be out in full force, but a lot of times I don't believe when they say things like that. I think it's more of a verbal warning, like sort of a white lie, because they're going to be minimally staffed because it's the holiday. I mean, yes, they still have to protect and serve, but they want to be with their families, and realizing that not much really happens on Thanksgiving Day. Most people are eating, watching football. I find it hard to believe that our local police forces would be fully manned on this day, but that's just me. I don't honestly know. I'm just assuming. I have no evidence other than it seems like they wouldn't have a lot of people on the force. But yeah, so that's kind of surprising. I didn't see. They usually like to hang out by that bridge there before that exit. See them hiding down in there, but not today. Maybe on the way home. Drops down to 35 here, and you always get some asshole that rides your ass through here because they're a local, so they think, well, I don't have to deal with speed limits, so they'll ride your ass the whole way. Like this Dodge Ram that's coming up behind me, you can see it in the 360.